storm and the gale. Every harsh word, a dagger that cuts, slice through the silence, breaking the ruts. No sugarcoating, no softening the blow. Had to say it, no holding back. Words like fire, igniting the track. Listen or leave, it's your call tonight. Aaron's the storm, he's ready to fight. Voices echo in darkness, where honesty dwells. Aaron drops knowledge, casting his spells. Feelings are fading, lost in the fray. If you can't handle it, step out of the way. It's a bitter pill, but he's done being nice. Had to say it, no holding back. Words like fire, igniting the track. Listen or leave, it's your call tonight. Aaron's the storm, he's ready to fight. It's a bitter pill, but he's done being nice. Had to say it, no holding back. Words like fire, igniting the track. Listen or leave, it's your call tonight. Aaron's the storm, he's ready to fight. So brace yourself tight, prepare for the quake. Aaron had to say it, the truth won't break. Yeah, the truth won't break.
Okay, that was really fucking weird. I don't know. I guess Restream decided to fucking mute me for some reason. We'll start over. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of I Had to Say It. Sorry for this being late in the week. Real life got in the fucking way. It happens. Like I said in the little announcement, I had a family emergency come up. And it is what it is. I'm not apologizing for it. It's just the way life works. And I honestly wasn't going to do anything. I'm pretty much exhausted. I'm physically drained. I've had a very rough week. It's been a very long time of this week. It's been a while since I've had to, be doing what I'm doing. And yeah, it's anyway, I wasn't going to record anything. I wasn't going to do the whole, oh, well, hey, it's September 11th, 24 years ago. Some dumb shit happened because a bunch of idiot motherfuckers. Everybody's talking about it. There's no need for me to put my 2 pennies in on there. I don't believe the truth has got anything to do with what the official story is. Okay, Bob says my audio's coming in and out. It is recording into the Rodecaster, though, so I guess whatever's going on with Restream where it's not keeping up with the show is problematic, I guess. Let's see. It looks like the YouTube cut out. Wow, that's weird. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if it's just you. Bruce, you're supposed to be in that channel too. Can you answer something? Because like I tried opening the YouTube channel and it says the stream's not going on, which is I don't know why I keep trying to do this shit. I keep thinking this is something that would be good for people to want to hear what I have to say and enjoy the show. Um, well, no, wait, now it's back. Okay, this is getting really fucking weird. Okay, Bruce says he hears me just fine, so it might just be Bob. Anyway, the thing, so yeah, it's September 11th. I'm not here to talk about that. There's way too many conspiracy theories out there. I don't think we know the truth. I'm not going to dwell on it. 3,000 people died for no valid reason as far as I'm concerned. It was a shitty situation. Bad things happened. Whether you believe the official narrative that it was a terrorist attacks, whether you believe the conspiracies that it was deliberately done by the government to provoke us into a situation, if you believe it was done by whatever cartel or mafia or whatever the fuck you believe about it, good for you. You do you. We're never going to know the truth. It's never going to be out there. It's, I mean, I like everybody else. I think I remember I remember where I was when it happened. I was in culinary school. I was running on very little sleep, still probably a little drunk from the night before because back in the day I drank quite frequently to excess. And so I was like getting ready to go to school and I had the news on because that's what I did while I was getting dressed in the morning. And, saw a airplane crash into a tower and kind of thought it was weird and thought maybe it's a commercial for a movie that I had missed the lead up to it while I was, getting ready. And apparently, no, it was a recap of some footage that they had for some reason. And then all of a sudden the second plane hits the towers and my mom came in and was like, did you see this? Is this real or is what's going on? And I was like, I think it's real. It's really weird. And, yeah, it's one of those things. And there was a lot of other, feelings, thoughts, emotions. It's a massive tragedy. And then you hear about the one that hit the Pentagon that may or may not have hit the Pentagon, depending again on your predilection towards believing conspiracy theories or actually accepting the official narrative. I didn't see a lot of wreckage. It looked like it came from a plane in the Pentagon. And, everybody's got to admit Building 7 fell without anything actually hitting it. Oh, how did it catch on fire? That's my question. And how did it collapse perfectly? Yeah, I don't necessarily buy the official narrative in terms of that. Odd that it's where all the financial records and a bunch of other shit were stored. And all of a sudden it all just went up in smoke. But again, I really didn't want to discuss that today. I didn't want to discuss anything today. I've been listening to too much other shit. And if I don't get something off my chest, I'm going to have a fucking aneurysm. And I don't like, this is my OCD kicking in. I don't like the fact that I didn't put an episode out this week. Yeah, I had a family issue come up that required my attention that I did not have the ability to sit down and record an episode on Monday night. I couldn't do the live stream on Monday night. I wasn't home. And by the time I got home, it was late. And I had to go to bed because I had to get up early in the morning. I've been working, like I said, I had something I had to do for my job that required me to be up super early and to be getting home very late. And it's just, it is what it is. So anyway, this is going to be short. It's not going to be a long drawn out thing. It's just, I have a few thoughts I want to get off my chest. It's probably going to piss some people off per usual. I don't fucking care. You don't like it, unfollow me, stop watching, send me messages, tell me I suck. It matters not to me. And I've, again, been very busy. Haven't been nearly as active on the social media side of things as I usually am. Probably for the best, really, for my mental health, because the little occasional times where I pop in and check on things have just been pissing me off. And it's, again, probably not good for my mental health. I cannot stomach the degree of disconnect from reality. And for whatever reason, I don't understand what the fuck's going on with like my X algorithm, because that's where I spend most of my social media energy is on that. So most of my social media currency is spent on X because there's a lot of different varying things that go on, and that seems to be the source where I get. But lately, my feed has been nothing but leftist politicians and assorted leftist influencers and other cunts that I don't want to see their opinions, particularly not with what happened. Unless you're living on the dark side of the fucking moon, Charlie Kirk got shot, got killed. I don't want to go into too much theorizing as to what happened. Whether the people are saying it was a professional hit, people are saying it was a disgruntled tranny, people are saying it was, just somebody lashing out. People are saying it might have been, Israel striking against because he was talking bad about Jewish people funding politics. Or I don't fucking care. At the end of the day, I don't care why he got shot. I mean, once we actually have something concrete to point to, maybe then I'll give a shit. But I have no patience for all the speculation, all the theorizing, all the people fucking wanting to break the news, to be the first ones to come out and say, "Hey, this is what happened, and I know this is my facts. This is how I know I'm right." Because as a society, we've gotten way too, and we've seen it from both sides, from the legacy media, always more worried about breaking the story than they are about getting the fucking facts right. So I take issue with anybody right now that's trying to postulate about why Charlie Kirk got shot. Charlie Kirk got shot for, I'm sure, a variety of reasons. Could it have been some mentally unbalanced fuckwit tranny that was upset that he's out here debunking their arguments that their beliefs are valid? It could be. Could it be that he pissed off the international Jewish cartels that like to control the world from behind the scenes, or whatever other fucking thing it is that all the whack jobs that think the Jews are responsible for every negative thing in the world think? Who the fuck knows? I don't care. I don't want to hear your half-baked crackpot theories. I don't want to hear, there's motherfuckers out there, "Oh, well, that shot could have only been by a professional shooter because it was one shot right in the neck." And you know what? They're saying it was about a 200-yard shot. Anybody that's a avid hunter knows you can make a 200-yard shot. It's not a super complicated shot. The likelihood that a professional shooter, a professional trigger man, is going to aim for the fucking throat, very slim. I mean, even with an extremely well scoped in, well dialed in rifle, you still have a thing called minutes of accuracy. It tells you how much of a circle you're going to have that shot within. From a couple hundred yards, a good rifle with a good scope, you're still going to have a 2 to 3 inch circle that bullet could be anywhere in that circle, which is more or less a headshot, sure. A body shot, 100%. Shooting somebody in the fucking throat? Anybody that wants to make sure they are effectively killing their target is not going to aim for the smallest part of the fucking body that is vulnerable to a kill shot. That's not a professional shot. What I think is more likely is either somebody was aiming for a headshot and didn't calculate properly, and the bullet drop and fucking wound up clipping him in the neck and got lucky, or somebody was aiming for center mass and skidded off the plates that were in his. I've heard both arguments. People are saying he didn't wear body armor because he was wearing a t-shirt, and I have seen low profile body armor. It's very thin. It kind of sculpts to your body. It doesn't stop, like high caliber rifle rounds and shit, but it does exist. So people are saying it glanced off the body armor and went into his neck. Either way, I don't think somebody intentionally plugged him in the fucking jugular, because that's an extremely risky shot to try to take. It's like the people that were saying Trump set up his own assassination attempt and had a marksman clip his fucking ear. The probability of that actually working out is so fucking slim, it's ridiculous. And people that want to acknowledge it and say that's the case are just, they're fucked. They don't have any fucking critical thinking. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's another one of these internet fucking expert situations where everybody thinks they know what they're fucking talking about. Everybody's talking out both sides of their fucking mouth without actually knowing the facts. And it fucking enervates me. I don't care what your half-baked crackpot theory is. And personally, you know what? I'm not a Charlie Kirk fan by any means. I don't hate the guy. I've never held anything against him. I agree with a lot of what he says, but not enough to where I could be like, "Oh, I'm a fan of his," because I'm not. And I'll break it down real simply. I generally don't talk about like my personal faith or beliefs. I mean, it's come up in episodes in the past, but it's not a primary thing I talk about. And to put it simply, I do not subscribe to Christianity. It's because I do believe in a higher power. I believe there is a God. I believe that every religion on the planet was established by men. Men are fucking fallible. Men are easily corrupted. Men are fucking greedy, hungry, hungered motherfuckers that will say or do anything they can to manipulate the situation for their own benefit. Ergo, I don't believe in religion. I believe in God. I don't believe in fucking religion. People have a problem with that. I don't fucking care. But I think having faith is a good thing. I think believing in things is a good thing, especially if it makes you a better person. Now, when you replace, like spirituality and faith with the state, you're a fucking idiot and I can't stand you, which is basically every fucking leftist out there. They all, oh, well, God's not real. And da, 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 da. Yeah, but you worship the state. You praise the boot that's on your fucking neck because you want it to come down harder on other people. You're okay with the boot because the boot is God, as long as the boot is on the people you don't like harder than it is on you. Like, as long as they're under the heel, but you're on the toe, so the toe's got less pressure. So you're okay with the boot. And you're a fucking cretin. I can't stand it. It drives me fucking insane. And so, yes, I have a problem with that. I regret, or I shouldn't say I regret, I mourn the fact that Charlie Kirk got shot because nobody should be getting killed for what he did. There is a absolutely obscene amount of rhetoric that led up to this, which is, again, one of the things that has me extremely irate with the whole situation. He was a young man, a father, a husband. He had a family. He was living according to his values. What he did, he had the audacity and the nerve to give people he didn't agree with a platform and the opportunity to argue their case, to try and prove him wrong. He welcomed the conversation and the debate by giving these people a chance to say, here is why my beliefs are valid. And, he went into the situation saying, change my mind. Provide some sort of proof that validates your stance over mine. I'll give you that opportunity. I'll give you the platform. These people who never would have reached an audience all of a sudden had a chance to be in front of his audience, which was massive, to try and make their cases. Not a single one of them could accomplish anything without appealing to emotional appeal or falling back to, well, I feel this way and that's why it's valid. And since you have literally sat there and poked holes with logic and facts in my entire argument, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a xenophobe, you're a misogynist, you're a whatever. And, again, I don't agree with everything Charlie Kirk said. I don't agree with a lot of what he said, particularly all the religious shit. I mean, it's great. I'm happy you believe in your spirituality. I hope for his sake he was right. He's sitting at the right hand of the God he loves, and he's going to live a blessed afterlife for being a good and faithful soldier or whatever the fuck, applies in this case. I hope for him that works out. I hope that he got the afterlife he feels is coming to him. I like I said, I believe faith is important. I believe believing in something bigger than yourself, it grounds us as people. I believe it keeps our humanity. I mean, and that's kind of where I was going with this. I did make a comment in the recent episode of the Boomer Bunker that I have a stance on this matter that's going to piss people off because, and this is, again, I've been very busy with my 9-to-5 real life, real world issues, my job, the things I have to actually focus on to keep my life intact. Because let's face it, this show is how I vent. This is how I keep from having a fucking stroke. It doesn't make any money. I lose money on this shit every fucking month. So as much as I appreciate my patrons and my supporters, because the Buy Me a Coffee people technically aren't patrons. But anyway, as much as I appreciate my supporters, at the end of the day, what I lay out pretty much balances in terms of what I outlay to what's coming in and what's going out ain't exactly adding up still, And again, I'm not doing this for the money. I don't care. I'm not trying to bitch and make it say, oh, poor Aaron, his hobby isn't making him money. Ooh, that's not the point. But the point is sometimes real life has to come first. So I've had very cursory interactions with social media since this absolutely fucking horrific act was done. Again, for the crime of giving people a platform and then letting them expose themselves as smooth-brained, soft-minded, soft-spined, emotionally fragile, giant fucking old children, basically, because they have no ability to cope with reality or with being told they're wrong and then being empirically proven they're fucking wrong, other than to call names and storm off and feel self-justified. Or I guess if you get worked up enough, take a fucking shot at somebody because they're children and they can't process their fear and their failure and their loss. And I've seen a lot of things, and I've made a few comments on social media, and I'm not, retracting or apologizing or even really clarifying it here because they're pretty straightforward statements. a lot of people that identify as right leaning or on the right, or conservatives, or however you want to look at it. Even the people who say, "Oh, well, I'm more a centrist," but I tend to lean one way or the other. And that's, I'm not trying to say that with any irony. I understand that that's exactly how I describe myself. I am centrist with certain leanings. And the Overton window shift, which is a real thing. Fucking yes, the bars have been fucking moved over the years. There was a time where I was considered extremely liberal because I don't give a fuck about what consenting adults do between themselves. It doesn't matter to me because you're not doing it to me. It doesn't fucking matter to me. I'm perfectly content to let grown ass people live their best lives and try and get their slice of the American dream and say what you want, believe what you want. I don't fucking care. Now, that used to paint me as a very liberal individual. These days, the liberals are fucking. The far left has gone so fucking far left that they're dog shit crazy. And I know it's, again, the vocal minority, the people that are getting all the attention and all the clicks and all the likes, and I'm sure it's not everyone, but you see a guy who was way less offensive in his general approach to people he didn't agree with than someone like, say, me would be in the same situation. I mean, he was always respectful. He was polite. I don't think I've ever seen a video of him raising his voice or copping an attitude with anyone. Just calm, even dismantlement of their fucking stances with logic and occasionally, yes, bringing his faith into the matter and saying, well, I believe the Bible says this. But very rarely did I see him do that where it wasn't brought up by whoever was trying to argue with him about something. And more credit to him. He gave them the opportunity. He let them speak their piece. He never tried to talk over people. He never tried to talk down people. He said, here's what I believe. Here's the facts. And, people that are emotionally based and make poor choices don't actually like facts. They're bad things. But at the end of the day, a lot of people on the right are saying a bunch of shit that I can no longer find myself in a position to agree with. And this is what I said that I think is going to probably piss John and a lot of other right-leaning or self-proclaimed conservative individuals the fuck off. And, so be it. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm tired of dealing with things like this because the moral high ground that these people want to cling to, the attitude that, well, we don't do that because that's what the other side does. We can't resort to this because that's what they would do. We can't meet violence with violence because that just begets further problems. The application of that concept, the idea that you cannot that violence begets violence and being reactive and it's all counterproductive, and you should only be defensive in your stance on and your beliefs. And now, do I think that, oh, well, this is war and blah 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 blah? I don't exactly think that I don't believe we should be going, well, this is the spark that struck off the next war, and this is what's coming, and it's a civil war now. Now, do I believe that in a lot of ways we've been at war for decades? Because we have. The only thing is, only one side has been committed to it at this point. And it's been said, and I agree with this, that whether wanted or not, the war has already come. It's just it was a Cold War status for a very long time. It was rhetoric and it was words. But then you had a side that decided words were equivalent to violence. And I've had a problem with that since the first. I mean, you go back to the old episodes, I've talked about the shit. Words are words. Words are not violence. Words do not cause you physical harm or pain. They may cause you emotional damage or emotional scarring or emotional issues. You know what? That's a fucking you problem. That's your inability to cope. That's your inability to deal. But the problem is, and again, I know it's a smaller portion of the left, but anyone who's still identifying as a liberal or a leftist at this point, to my way of thinking, has said these heinous fucking things are not a deal breaker for me. I would rather maintain and cling to this fucking identity that I built, that I'm liberal and somehow I'm better than you because I believe people should be whatever they want, and rainbows and sunshines and unicorn farts, and we can fuel our hopes and dreams on fucking fairy dust because if you believe it hard enough, it's going to be true, and everything that I want is a fucking right, because that's how my liberal mind works. things that I want in my life are a human right. I have a right to food. No, you have a right to have access to food. Nobody owes you a fucking cheeseburger. You have a right to go out there and get a cheeseburger. You know how you do that if you don't have your own fucking cow? You do something that is of worth. You create, you generate, and you say, hey, I would like to exchange this for some of your cow. And then that's a free exchange. And you get some cow and you make yourself a fucking hamburger. Or, for most of these smooth-brained, soy-fed fucking liberal retards, you get yourself some soy pressings and you make a Beyond Burger. And you wrap it in some tofu flakes. And you go live your miserable, weak-boned life because you're a piece of shit. And I'm not saying that in terms of, I don't mean to be detrimental to people who believe in vegetarianism or veganism, because they for whatever reason, they feel that if you say you're doing it to be healthy, I think you're full of shit because you haven't done your research, because you miss key nutrients, minerals, and things. And you say, oh, well, we can supplement that with vitamins. If you have a healthy, balanced, natural diet, you really shouldn't need a lot of vitamin intake unless you have a biological issue that prevents your body from properly processing the things obtained through your diet. But if you are eating a properly balanced diet that is effectively based on how your biology works, you shouldn't need vitamins. If you need to supplement what you're putting in your body with other shit, you're not putting the right shit in your body. Oh, well, Aaron, what do you know? Are you a nutritionalist? Ironically enough, yes, I've taken nutrition courses. I have a certificate in nutrition. It's part of being a chef. Fucking stuff it. I know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, I work in a industry as a person who does nutrition as part of healthcare. So yeah, again, I'm uniquely qualified to make these statements. If you're doing it for a moral principle, if you're doing it because you don't want to hurt the bunnies and the cows and the chickens, okay, great. Say that, and I'll give you the respect due to it. I mean, I actually have a couple people that I talk with online that are vegetarian and vegan that I'm more than willing to respect because they say outright, I don't want to kill the animals. That's what it is. It's not that I think it's healthier. It's not that I'm pious and I'm better than you. And that's the other thing. Don't be preachy about it. Don't be a cunt. Don't tell me that you're better than me somehow because you think you're more enlightened because you don't want to eat the cute little fuzzy things. Because the cute little fuzzy things, if they weren't supposed to be food, they wouldn't be made of meat. So, yeah, fuck you. But anyway, so the whole thing about it is, I kind of derailed my train of thought here, but at the end of the day, like I said, we've got all these fucking people out here who are saying, yeah, okay, I'm still on the left. I still believe that this way is right. Whereas your actual figurehead leftist motherfuckers are directly responsible for this kind of behavior becoming acceptable to the mindset of your average fucking garden variety retard leftist child that's out there doing this shit. And I'm saying child not as in like a 9-year-old that somehow got their hands on a high-powered rifle and took a pot shot at Charlie Kirk because that's really fucking likely. No, I mean emotionally stunted, developmentally disabled, fucking unequivocally child mindset having motherfuckers who can't cope or process with reality in any kind of meaningful fucking way. So as a child would, as someone with the developmental status of someone in their fucking toddler years, they lash out when they aren't happy with their world. And unfortunately, since they're constantly told that the world owes them something and the world should be a certain fucking way, regardless of what they do to deserve that, they develop this mentality of entitlement and fucking, it's not fair. It's not right. Everything that's wrong in my life is somebody else's fault. This guy who's got his shit together, who's got a beautiful wife and 2 lovely children, said a bunch of mean things that gave me the hurts because he didn't want to say that I can become a fucking toaster if I try really hard. He's a bad man. He said bad, icky things. He said he loves his Bible and his regular shit, and that makes me sad because his regular shit not make me happy. His regular shit make him happy, and that's not fair. Me no functional because these fucking retards are sub-goddamn human. And that's the point I'm coming to with this whole thing. That is the stance I have taken because of these fucking mouth-breathing fucks who are out there celebrating and literally posting video after video, TikTok, Instagram, fucking X posts on Facebook. People are out there. Oh, and it's your teachers and it's your healthcare workers. And it's all these people that think they're so much better than you because they think they're doing something for society, but they are garbage people. They are sub-fucking human as far as I'm concerned. And that is what the actual point of this rant is. These people are not worthy to be equated to another fucking human being. They are not worthy of the respect and the discourse that you would give an equal. They are sub-fucking human, and they've proven it by their lack of any sort of worth or value to anybody that doesn't exactly align with what they believe in. If they can't give you the common courtesy of looking at you as a fellow human being, that subsequently removes them from the phrase fellow human being. These are not my fellow man. These are fucking subhuman, basement-dwelling, knuckle-dragging pieces of shit. They don't deserve the courtesy of being treated as an equal. They don't deserve an equal platform. They don't deserve equal rights. They don't need to be coddled and tolerated, and we don't need to take the high ground and show the moral fortitude to be stronger and be better than them and not respond in violence, because you know why? The last guy who said, hey, we should talk to these people, maybe we can bring a few of them around, they just put a bullet in his fucking neck, okay? This is the kind of suicidal empathy that I've accused the left of for fucking years, and it doesn't play any better when it comes from a place of smug self-righteousness of, oh, well, we're the party of the moral high ground. The moral high ground's going to get you fucking killed because you're treating these people with a courtesy they're not going to fucking return. And in case you haven't noticed, these leftist whack jobs are all leaning real heavily into, well, we got the guns too. We're going to be violent now too. Oh, we're going to show you, cracker, peckerwood, redneck motherfuckers how we feel. Okay, because despite all of their claims of tolerance and love and acceptance, they are actually some of the most racist, backwards, slow-minded motherfuckers you're going to find. And they're out here saying this shit is, oh my God, here, you know what? We're dangerous now. You better respect us or we're gonna kill you because we can do that too, because we're not scared of you. We're going to stand up for our rights and our freedoms and all the imaginary shit we think you're going to take away from us because we're the victims. It's not our fault we're failures. It's not our fault we're miserable. It's not our fault we can't actually accomplish or do anything of any worth or meaning in our lives because we bought into a narrative that's utterly fucking ridiculous. It's everyone else's fault. So we're going to be in the right because we're striking first before you can do all these terrible, mean things to us. All the horse shit rhetoric that came out of every single mouthpiece on the left, every leader, every elected official, every fucking jive-ass, hustling fake preacher out there that's sitting there screaming about racism, reparation, and bullshit. Every fucking fundamentalist preacher, every fucking fundamentalist fucking I don't want to even bring faith into it, but there are way too many people out there willing to use their faith as a fucking lever to try and justify whatever ridiculous, racist, self-serving horse shit comes out of their mouth. I don't care what fucking way you're swinging. Every last one of these fucking self-serving fucks deserves zero fucking quarter. And this is what I'm saying. At this point, all these assholes who are saying, oh, well, this is what's next. Then you get these dumb motherfuckers. Oh, well, you know what? JD's next. He better watch his mouth. Oh my God. They missed Trump, but the next one will get him. We're going to go after this person. Ben Shapiro's going to catch one for being part of Israel. And every ignorant sack of shit out here. And we've got every more self-important fuck stain on the right who's going, well, we're not like them. We're better than them because we're taking the moral high ground. That moral high ground is going to get you fucking killed. What we need to do at this point is start doing all the horrific shit they're already accusing you of. They will not meet you in the middle. They will not tolerate you. They will not accept you. And trying to pretend like there is any finding common ground with these people. There is no commonality to be fucking had. This shit is going to wind up there in their minds. You're already the bad guy. You're the fucking demon. You are the threat to life, liberty, and freedom and everything they deserve, but they can't get because the bad, evil, conservative people are there, and we need to strike them down. And that's why this shit is on the uptick. That's why you've got fucking confused-ass kids going and shooting up schools because somebody told them that they can be something they just, at the end of the day, fucking can't. They didn't say, hey, you're unhappy because you've got some shit you need to work out. They said, hey, you know what? You're probably in the wrong body. Take all these chemicals, fuck up your brain chemistry, and then here, oh, by the way, yeah, here's a gun and a bunch of people that don't identify with things you believe in. Go shoot up that Christian school. fucking retards, and you want to try and find commonality. You want to try and be accommodating and say, we're going to be the bigger person. We're going to be the better man. Nobody fucking cares on that side how much mercy and how much grace you show them. You're still the bad guy. They still think you want them destroyed. They have been pushed into this narrative by every leader on the left. And I'm saying leader with, here, heavy fucking air quotes. Every yammering, talking head, fucking globalist, pundit, leftist piece of shit has spent the last decade comparing people that they don't like to the most evil, heinous fucking people in the history of the planet. Oh, well, Trump and his supporters are literally Nazis. They're fucking Hitler. No, you know why? Because conservatives just want to say, hey, guess what? This is reality and you don't like it, but that's too bad. They're not saying, get in the fucking gas chamber, you fucking idiot. Pull that hairy butt plug out of your fucking ass, take off those cat ears, and get in the fucking shower. Nobody's saying that shit, but they're treating you like it is. They're seeing your very existence as a threat to theirs. You can't live your life for them to be happy. They don't want your understanding. They don't want your compassion because they've been programmed to believe it doesn't exist. Your compassion leads to their destruction. Your understanding is their downfall. You can't reason or accommodate with people like that. This has just proven it. The guy who wanted to have reasonable adult discourse with these assholes got shot. Now, whether you believe or not that he was shot by a trans person, which is the current narrative going forward, because they found a shotgun with some trans slogans carved into the shell casings. I don't know how much I buy that. I mean, it's entirely possible because that seems to be a lot of things like the most recent school shooter that happened where, yeah, okay, we're going to write a bunch of retarded shit on our guns because that seems like something people that are trying to make a statement would do, and unbalanced motherfuckers do dumb, weird shit. So maybe but yeah, it kind of stinks on ice. And as long as I'm talking about, school shootings, another thing, which unfortunately was very overshadowed by Charlie Kirk getting shot, was there was also a school shooting the same day. Another fucking maladjusted fucking teenager who social media already did some detective work on it. He was one of the wounded taken out of the school, so I guess he either turned it on himself or somebody popped him. But the young man's father was a very vocal anti-Trump left-leaning individual. Apparently fucked his kid up. The kid went and took it out on his fucking classmates. Again, it's a fucking tragedy. Didn't get nearly the kind of attention it deserved. I mean, partly it's because the mainstream media only wants to vilify the fucking right. So as soon as the fact that this kid's dad was a fucking leftist nutball came out, it was like, oh yeah, that story's fucking dead. But the death of children should not be, sidelined by a guy who was politically divisive getting popped. It's a tragedy when anybody dies. But again, I don't have the sympathy for people that are out there trying to push either way of it. I don't give a shit which way you're leaning. If you're coffin surfing, you're a piece of shit. Again, you fall into that category of subhuman to me. You are no longer worthy of being treated as my equal. You are fucking beneath me. And I don't care how you feel about it because, again, I don't concern myself with the opinions of things I consider beneath me. I don't give a shit what my fucking dog thinks about what I'm wiring out of the house. You know why? Because my dog, even as much as I love my dog, is not another fucking person. My dog doesn't have a say in things. My dog doesn't pay any fucking bills, ergo it gets no vote in what I fucking wear. You can apply the same logic to pretty much anybody that wants to cop this attitude. Anybody that wants to celebrate, somebody getting shot because they don't like the way they think. Anybody that wants to sit out there and say, you know what? I think because you believe these things, I'm justified in killing you. And I think because you said things I don't like, I should be able to celebrate your death. Again, that disconnects you from actual humanity. That means you're a piece of shit. I don't value the opinions of pieces of shit. I don't fucking sympathize with pieces of shit. And again, I'm at the point where I'm tired of conceding to pieces of shit. I'm tired of taking the moral high ground. I'm tired of saying, well, just because you have a problem with me doesn't mean I have to reciprocate and have a problem with you. We've allowed that kind of mentality is why our society has gotten to be the way it is. That's why we have managed to allow the left to install soft on crime judges. That's why they have put governors in place who, like in my own shithole state, the elimination of cash bail. You have people on the streets with 14, 15, 16 arrests for violent fucking crimes that are getting put back on the streets by smooth-brained, soft-hearted, soft-headed fucking judges. Activist assholes with an agenda who are actively working to destabilize our society, and taking the moral high ground isn't getting us anywhere with this shit because they're entrenched. They don't have morals that will prevent them from doing this horrific shit because to them, the ends justify the means. The end is destroying you and everybody you've ever fucking agreed with, everybody you care about, and everything you value in this world. And the reasoning could be a lot of different things. It could be because they're failed human beings. It could be because they're petty. It could be because they're mean. It could be because they're stupid. But at the end of the day, I've said it a million times. The left is a fucking death cult. You're not going to find common ground with the vast majority of these motherfuckers at this point. Anybody who, like myself, was once upon a time considered a leftist and reasonable, walked away a long fucking time ago. And the people you're trying to defer to and the people you're trying to say, we're not going to take that route. We're not going to do the thing. I'm going to play defense and hope things fucking get better. I think you're living in a fucking pipe dream at this point. I don't see how that's going to work because reactive behavior doesn't improve the situation. If anything, the current state of the world should highlight that to fucking anyone with a modicum of common sense. You can't be reactive to these situations. You're always going to be on the back foot. You're always going to be defensive. You're always going to be looking over your fucking shoulder instead of, cracking down on this shit. If there's no punishment, there's no fear of repercussion with these fucking clowns. You can't rely on morals on people who think, well, once I'm dead, that's it. When you're talking about people who worship at the foot of the state, who don't believe in, any kind of afterlife, any kind of long-term repercussions. And it sucks that as a species, we need to be afraid of bad shit happening to us for doing certain things to make us act like we have any fucking sense. But in case you haven't noticed, when you remove the moral compass from the situation, people devolve really quick into self-serving, destructive pieces of shit. And at the end of the day, like I said, you can't negotiate with that. You can't argue away this stuff. You can't change these things to say, okay, well, here, we know that your side's been calling us the literal embodiment of evil, and your side's been saying that anyone who believes these things is trying to ruin everybody else's lives, despite all of the empirical evidence to the contrary, despite the fact that if this were actually true, it would have been happened already. If we were actually going to say the most well-armed population on the planet wants to shove all these assholes in camps, and the only thing that's stopping them is what? I mean, seriously, you can't even ask these retarded motherfuckers that question because they don't have an answer that they can give you that doesn't make them look insanely fucking stupid. So they won't say it. They'll just say, oh, well, it's just because, the government won't let you. There's more of us than there are of them. The fact that, a people you supposedly despise as actual moral code is the only thing allowing you to exist the way you do, and you still somehow think that they're out to get you, just shows that you are fucking unwell. You are fucking stupid, and I don't have any fucking use for people like that. It's pathetic. The fact that, oh, well, we can't strike back at these people. You know what? It's not like I'm saying I want to go out and fight a war. I don't want to sit there and start going, hey, look, there's somebody with purple hair. Pop, pop, pop. No, I'm not saying I want an active battle. What I'm saying is there needs to be actual repercussions for this shit. It's like the fucking retarded son of a bitch that rode his scooter through a fucking people standing around mourning Charlie Kirk, and he yelled, fuck Charlie Kirk. John, again, came up on the Boomer Bunker. I was going to talk about it anyway, but it works nicely. So go watch this episode of the Boomer Bunker. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's not that this guy just wanted to be an antagonist. It's not that he, again, I've talked about, main character syndrome and so many of these stupid fucks that they don't ever think there's going to be consequences for their actions. And that's what the problem is because we've taught them there's no fucking consequences for your actions. You can be a sanctimonious, self-righteous piece of shit, and you can say whatever hurtful, mean fucking things you want if you're on the left, because the right's not going to fucking do anything about it. They do this shit because they've been taught they can. Saying we don't need to resort to their level, we need to maintain the high ground, is what got us here in the first fucking place. I fucking can't. I won't entertain these fucking notions anymore. The idea that, oh, well, we just need to hold to our beliefs and keep our values because otherwise, if we compromise ourselves, we're no better than them. You're trying to take the high ground with people that don't share any of your values, your beliefs, or your structures, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work any more than it's going to work with you going out into your backyard and yelling at a raccoon, trying to tell it that it should stop stealing your vegetable because that's your garden and you planted it and you have a right to it. The raccoon doesn't fucking know what you're saying and wouldn't care if it did. That's exactly how the rest of these fucking retards are. They don't understand your point. They don't believe in your values, and they wouldn't care if they did. You're not going to win with people like that. And that's really all I wanted to say. I'm going to come out and I'm going to throw this up so that, what do you know? You got an episode this week after all. And I guess, that's what I had to say.